All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Bucktown barn. I'm George, and this is the Bucktown barn. Giving you a little channel introduction and tour of the place here. It's a little bit of a mess. We just got rid of a couple projects, make some room for some cool stuff that's coming in the door. And got a couple cool projects out in the barnyard here. And but you can see this place is a bit of a wreck. I got some work things, you know, some parts from my day job and crap like that laying around, and projects over here. We got a couple of B bodies, old Mopar B bodies in the B body barn. A couple small engines over there beyond the bike, and yeah, this is the inside of the shop. So I originally bought this place because it was such a cool shop. It's heated, had air conditioning. Doesn't have air conditioning anymore, but we got our barrel stove over there, toolboxes and tools and crap laying everywhere. I'm sure you guys know what that's all about. So, and then over here we got my mess of an office. It's a bit of a wreck, but this is where I do the day-to-day stuff for my day job. So we're probably not going to spend too much time in here, but you know, it's got my computer screen set up and my PCs and servers and switches and routers and all that IT shit that I do. So, but anyway, we'll get you guys outside here in the sun. So this is a bit of the barnyard here. We got this big old International. That thing's cool. That's going to be one of the projects. That thing needs a ton of work. First thing, actually, I think it's coming today. We got to put the shifter isolator on it and the shifter tower, because that stick is just wobbling every which way. But it's getting kind of tough to find the holes in the gearbox there. So then we got this thing over here. This thing's my old pickup truck. I'm gonna plan on doing some things to it. Maybe putting a motor in it. At least figure out why it's got a knock to it, fuel knock, or maybe it's got a hole in the piston. We don't know. We'll find out. That's what we're doing here. So, got the old four-wheeler, firewood hustler. This is the firewood hustler. This thing's pretty cool. I've had this for about 20 years. And then over here we got an old parts car. This is a parts car for that white B body that's in the barn there. So this one, man came over yesterday. He wants the motor and trans out of it. So we're gonna be shooting a video on that this weekend. So a friend of mine's coming up. We're gonna try to get this in the shop so we can work in the warmth. And yeah, that's the plan for this. And then this thing's cool. It's got one of them there 318s, but it's the wide block. It's a poly motor. Really underrated motors here, guys. Making some serious horsepower and torque with these motors. Not like the LA block, but these things are really underrated. You know, back in the day, guys were scrapping these things by the dozens because they weren't real valuable, but they're making a comeback. So, and back here in the barn. Oh, by the way, we got the race trailer. I'm probably not gonna. Well, yeah, we'll go take a look in there. This thing. Camping generator there, tool bench. Yep. I don't have her plugged in, so we can't turn the lights on, but underneath all this minutia and junk here, I don't know if you can tell, guys, but that is a 69 Barracuda. That is cool, right? So this is a project which may or may not get off the ground. We'll see. Belongs to a friend of mine and his brother, and they're at odds about what to do with it. It was their father's, and it's got some sentimental value to it, but we'll see what happens with it. We pulled it back from Ocala, Florida last spring, and it's just a cool car. But so anyway, that's the story with the Barracuda. Man, anyway, this thing's a mess. We got to go back to Florida. this winter. So at some point I gotta clean this out and make it look respectable inside. There we go. Make our way through these brambles here. Alright, back here, further yet in the barnyard, we've got an old truck stashed back here, which I really got to dig out. A tree fell on it this past summer. I guess you guys can see that. Luckily, for the most part, it missed hitting the truck. It kind of fell around it, believe it or not. So we're gonna get the saws out and cut the tree off of it, drag it out of here. Shit, might even drive out of here. So we'll see. That's a cool truck, but I don't know what we're doing with that yet. And as you can see, the back of the B-body barn is a little bit trashed up. We got to put a new B vent on for the furnace and straighten out that oil tank. Trees keep growing up around it and trying to knock it over. So I gotta check it. I think it's got a leak in it. Last time I put oil on it, didn't last too long. So, and then our camper here, our little fifth wheel camper. Old 78 Wilderness. This thing's cool. Needs a bunch of work, but it's habitable. It's definitely habitable, guys. Fridge works. Ceiling's falling in a little bit, but this is the living quarters up there, and little kitchenette, fold down beds, bathroom's in there. It's kind of roached out, but ain't nothing snowball grease can't fix. So anyway, yeah, took this camping a couple times. This thing's cool. So anyway, here's back around to the dually again. This truck sat for about the past year and a half or so. So further down the barnyard here, we're gonna check out what we got down here. We got a wood yard, log splitter sitting here. So I try to heat exclusively with firewood. Try not to buy too much oil if I don't have to. Mainly because I'm cheap, but it's also expensive. So we got a couple stacks of firewood there, and then we got the shed. This is the shed. Got our freezer. Keep all of our food cold. And then we got some tractors in there. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark in there, but we got a Craftsman tractor back here. That's kind of beat up. We'll get rid of that and then put this. Believe it or not, that's an old wheel horse. It's a Toro, but it's a real wheel horse actually. Yeah, it's got the Kohler motor on it. That thing's bulletproof. Needs tires and needs full restoration, but that's one of the other things I want to get to. That'll be a cool little project to do. But yeah, this is the chainsaw shop. All of our saws over there in that big trunk of wood, and our toolboxes and all sorts of stuff. I got to get a vise in here. So it's only been about a year and a half, 2 years since I started working on chainsaws down here, and I really got to get a vise in here. So, but anyway, that's the tour, guys. And like you see, we got some cool stuff we're going to get to. Want to make some modifications to that log splitter, and we're going to do some videos on cutting firewood and messing with cars, anything mechanical, small engines, chainsaws, you name it. We're gonna mess with it. Try to get into some willet starts. Well, we're gonna do a willet start with that Coronet out there, that cream colored one. We're gonna do a willet start with that when I go to pull in the garage, because that car does run, believe it or not. So anyway, that's the channel introduction, guys, and hope you guys stick around. We're gonna have some fun at this. Bear with me because I'm new, And if you guys have suggestions or you know, anything you want to add to the channel, some stuff you'd like to see or whatnot, just shoot me a line and we'll get you the content you want. So anyway, this is George at the Bucktown Barn, out.